my question is to the Minister to know what measures he has taken to address the current, and Minister Butler, of course, challenges in the nursing home sector, and if ministers will make a statement on it. Thank you.
For your question. The Government is conscious of the financial challenges faced by the nursing home sector, and we have acted accordingly. The cost of residential care to the state was 1.4 billion last year, and also that we receive about 350 million back from people who avail of the Fair Deal support mechanism. As of today, there are 22,613 people living in a nursing home receiving support under Fair Deal. Private nursing homes, so 1.4 billion is the full cost. Private nursing homes received nearly 70% of this funding under their agreements made independently with the National Treatment Purchase Fund. But I am very much conscious of the fact that small and voluntary nursing homes are facing challenges at the moment. So in November, I announced the €10 million temporary inflation payment scheme to alleviate pressures put on nursing homes by increasing energy prices. Private and voluntary nursing homes can claim 75% of year-on-year cost increases, up to a maximum payment of €5,250 per month. And I backdated this to the 1st of July, Deputy, so a nursing home can claim in total up to 31,500 from the 1st of July of this year to the 31st of December, and we will keep it under review. Over €145 million has been claimed by nursing homes under the Temporary Assistance Payment Scheme, known as TAPS, since it was introduced in 2020. And I have also continued this scheme on for any nursing home who currently have an outbreak of COVID and they need those extra financial supports to deal with it. Last month, for example, there were 72 nursing homes who had an open outbreak of COVID. Substantial other supports have been provided, Deputy. So since April of 2020, the State has been providing free PPE and free oxygen to the private and voluntary nursing home sector, and this estimated cost is 72 million to date. So this year's cost was 23 million in those type of supports.
Yeah, thank you, and thank you, Minister. And I know that you and I often talk about how we are all getting older, and now we know that from the Department of Health report just published that Ireland's population is ageing faster than anywhere else in Europe. So it is important that we make sure services which provide support, such as nursing homes, are adequately funded. And I just want to say, Minister, I met with some nursing homes recently, and one of the issues came up is that while the HSE are recruiting, some of them feel that they are losing staff to the HSE from their nursing homes. And the reason they are saying this is that the benefits with the HSE outweigh what they can provide. And the other issue that was raised was that the majority of the smaller nursing homes, they can't compete to the HSE. Like you talk about fair deals, so private nursing homes on average are on over a little thousand a week per resident, but if you compare that to the HSE itself, they're on double that amount, so they would be on over 2,000 a week, and that has become a huge issue. Thank you.
Deputy, so just to let you know, so there is, the Department of Health acknowledges that there are variations in the cost of care across public community hospitals as against private nursing homes, where public community hospitals, and I visited the one with you in Carlow, an absolutely fantastic facility, the Sacred Heart. And if you remember that day when we were there, the amount of work that was being done with the ICPOP team, the Integrated Care Programme for Older People, the amount of work that was being done there in relation to supporting people to age well at home, supporting people in relation to their nutrition, their dietary requirements in relation to whether they were at risk of frailty, whether they were at risk of falls. So the HSE will always step in where a resident's needs are sufficiently complex and that they are not able to be cared for elsewhere in the community. The HSE need to be staffed to deliver that kind of complex care. So the figures are the average price per person for a private nursing home is €1,050 per week. The average cost for the complexity of the HSE community hospitals and the complexity of the services they deliver is approximately €1,650.
Minister, and thank you. And I know how hard and how dedicated you are, but just at one of my meetings recently that was given to me was that by the end of 2022, almost 500 beds will be wiped out and closed in the smaller nursing homes, in the rural communities. And these are owned by the single owners, not the big companies. And that is the biggest issue, Minister, that we are just, the fact that we have spoke about this on several occasions. And Minister, I know how hard you have worked on this. I know your commitment and your dedication. And even while I was meeting with some of the nursing homes, like, all I can say is that they have said that during the COVID, the payments were exceptional, and that, you know, they were very happy with the payments, and that, you know, that they know the work that you have done. But there is huge challenges here, Minister. I know you're aware of them, and, you know, all I can say is that it is important now that we do not lose any smaller private homes, nursing homes, because they feel they cannot compete to the HSE. Thank you, Minister.
And thank you for the way you addressed this. I am currently in discussions with the department officials to examine ways in which funding can also continue to be used to support, where necessary and appropriate, those nursing homes which are not scheduled to renegotiate their deeds of agreement this year. We are looking at also an expected extension of the temporary inflation payment scheme. But Deputy, just in relation to your question, the department's record shows that 18 nursing homes have closed this year, with a reduction of 514 registered beds. This includes 2 nursing homes with a total of 43 beds that were not active. But 4 nursing homes have opened, Deputy, with a total of 448 registered beds. So the number of residents who have needed to move to other facilities will be lower. But I do take on board your point that we are losing small and voluntary family-run nursing homes in communities where they're hugely important. And this is an area I'm putting a clear focus on.